name is Alan, and in the summer of 2017, I visited Russia for the Confederation's Cup soccer tournament. I stayed in Moscow and St. Petersburg, so I'm putting together this video for those that are going to the World Cup and want to see what it's like in these two cities. So this video has some shots that I took around the streets of Moscow and St. Petersburg, along with some of the sites that are interesting, some of the tourist sites that you might want to visit. So if you're going to the World Cup next year, 2018, or if you just want to know more about Moscow and St. Petersburg, this is a great little primer to see what it's all about. And I'm sure you'll get a lot out of it, and you'll see some interesting places that I saw and get a good feel for what it's like. I'll also post some videos and pictures on Flickr. So I hope you like the video, and let's go. At the Red Square now. I did a little sightseeing. There's Lenin's mausoleum over on the left. There's the Kremlin Museum is behind that a little ways. There's shopping stores, museums, a lot of stuff to see. And this is probably going to be where everybody hangs out during the World Cup. It's a great meeting place, great place to be. So I'll see you here next year if I'm here. Mausoleum is behind me. I just went through it. Very interesting. If you can get a chance, you should see it. The Kremlin area. It cost about $10 to get in here. It's inside of the gated fortress area, and there's a lot of churches. We bought the ticket that lets us into the churches, and we're going to do some walking around. I'll film a little bit. It's quite an interesting place. I wasn't aware there's so many churches in here. Yesterday we took the high-speed train from Moscow to St. Petersburg. It took 4 hours. Our friend Jack purchased the lunch ahead of time. You don't need to do that. He said it was terrible. I'll leave a link on where to get discounted tickets for this train. However, if you do come for the World Cup qualifying or World Cup match next year, you don't have to pay anything, but you would have to take the 12-hour overnight train. So that's another option. It would be totally free. And it would take about 12 hours. Once you're here, we stayed at a hotel called Entourage. I'll leave a link to that too. Very difficult to get here, to be honest. streets were kind of confusing. It's almost like that game that children play where you get a clue and go to the next station and try to find your treasure. But at the end of the day, we did get here. Nice place, breakfast included. It's kind of like a bed and breakfast. Today we're going to head out and visit some museums. There's 300 museums in St. Petersburg, so it's a great place if you like history and culture. So we're going to run out and check that out. We're going to take some pictures, and hopefully the weather will be nice and we can enjoy the day. So I'll get back to you later. Okay, I'm in the middle of St. Petersburg, underground in a metro station. We're taking the communist Leningrad tour. We're supposed to meet the tour guide down here at 5 o'clock in a few minutes. Should be fun. A lot of things that are interesting concern the KGB and prisons and all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's see what happens. He should be here any minute. Lenin returned from exile in Western Europe on the 3rd of April 1917. He arrived in St. Petersburg from Helsinki by train and emerged through these doors. Behind the train station is the locomotive which brought Lenin to Russia, built in the USA and donated by Finland in 1957. In front of the train station is the famous statue commemorating Lenin's return, and across the river on the right-hand side of the picture is the ominous KGB building. Getting around St. Petersburg by metro is pretty easy, though the station names and street names are a little confusing, so try to map everything out ahead of time if you can. As you can see from the pictures, it's a little chilly, so be prepared for cold weather and for rain. The low at night gets down to about the upper 40s Fahrenheit, which is probably a little bit less than 10 degrees Celsius. I have some additional tips and some travel gear on the blog if you're interested, so check that out. Okay, I'm at the Winter Palace, the Hermitage Museum. We paid 700 rubles to get in, plus another 250 for English tour guide, and our tour is going to start in about 10 minutes. Just a quick tip, there's usually a huge line through the plaza, which you see right here, to get into Hermitage. You don't have to go into that line, just walk into the garden. To the right hand side there's a door that you can go in and buy tickets. They're a little bit more with the guided tour, but it'll save you a lot of time. There's also another very interesting museum across the plaza to the left of these arches, so you might want to visit that too. It's worth the effort. Okay, I'm within a church inside the Hermitage, which was closed during the Soviet Union era. It was renovated only 2 years ago. It opened. Absolutely beautiful.
But it was restored according to the idea of Australia, thanks to the saving documents and photographs which were taken before this church was damaged. So you can again recognize this typical Russian Baroque style. On the walls there are different details reminding us about the stylized shell ornaments, the images of little cooties with wings. Also the most important part of the church is an altar wall, and all these icons were made in the middle of the 18th century, so they are original. As you see, not every icon survived. That is why we had empty spaces. Also, look at the images of Jesus Christ, and next to him, the images of two saints. These two images are original from the 19th century, when the palace was restored after the fire.
Alrighty, this is our last day in Russia. Very cold. High is not going to get up to 70. Windy, chance of rain this afternoon. We're going to watch Cameroon and Australia tonight. We're at the Peter Paul Fortress, and there are some fans from Australia around here. Behind me is the actual Peter and Paul Fortress, which is on the Neva River in St. Petersburg. We're filming something back there, I don't know what it is. I'm on the battleship Aurora, which was used in the Russo-Japanese War, World War I and World War II. Behind me is a cannon which was used to set off a shot which signaled the beginning of the Bolshevik Revolution. I hope you enjoyed this little video I put together. Things you'll see on the streets of St. Petersburg and Moscow, outside of the soccer stadiums, and maybe some places you'd like to visit. St. Petersburg is very interesting if you get a chance to go there. Get out and see all the museums and sites. Two places that I really wanted to visit in St. Petersburg, we didn't have a chance. One is just to take a river cruise. At nighttime it's nice in June because of the white nights. It never really gets dark, and the drawbridges come up, and it's kind of lit up like a Christmas scene. They have dinner cruises, jazz cruises, and a wide variety of prices. I think anywhere between like 20 bucks, and then if you get a dinner cruise, it might be like 50 bucks or more actually. And then I wanted to go to the vodka museum. I don't know what's in it, but Russian vodka, I want to see that. So that's the other thing I wanted to do. But I would map out, kind of plan ahead what you want to do before you get there. But St. Petersburg is very interesting. So that's one place, if you can get there, you're all the way over in Russia, I would definitely, try to see what's going on there. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please put the comments below. Please share the video, like the video. I like all those kind of things. So have a good time if you go to Russia, whether it be the World Cup or just for a visit.
Капитан, капитан, это флаг корабля. Капитан, капитан, поднимитесь, только смело покоряются моря. Но однажды капитан был в одной из дальних стран и влюбился, как простой мальчуган. Раз 15 он краснел, заикался, не бледнел, но никто его